Okay, hello and welcome. Today we're doing a deep dive into Adobe. You know, the giant that basically was digital creation for decades.
That's right, a real titan.
But now, well, things seem to be shaking quite a bit. It looks like they're kind of struggling against their own history of success.
Absolutely. For, gosh, 40 years, they practically own the creative world. So today, we want to unpack what's happening and look at the lessons here.
Yeah, what went wrong?
Well, it seems to be a mix, right? The monopoly trap, maybe some arrogance,
Yeah.
problems with the subscription model, a huge user backlash over pricing and AI, and, importantly, competitors suddenly looking really strong.
Let's start at the beginning then. Their power base, it goes way back to the 80s, doesn't it?
It does. You had the founders, Warnock and Geschke, leaving Xerox.
Right, from Xerox, PR.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They created Adobe,
Yeah.
and crucially, they developed PostScript. That was the underlying code, the magic that let computers talk to printers reliably for high quality.
And Steve Jobs saw the potential there immediately, integrated it with Apple, and boom, the desktop publishing revolution kicked off.
Yeah, that partnership was key. Then, acquiring Photoshop in '88, that just cemented everything. Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere Pro followed. They became the industry standard.
But things really changed direction in, what, 2013? The move to the Creative Cloud?
Oh, massively. That was the big pivot. Remember,
Yeah.
before that, you'd buy Photoshop maybe for like $800, and you owned it.
You own the license? Yeah.
Creative Cloud shifted it entirely to a rental model, monthly payments, forever.
And they had a way to make sure you kept paying, didn't they? Those file formats.
Yes, the proprietary formats. PSD for Photoshop,
Mhm.
AI for Illustrator, INDD for InDesign.
That's the lock-in, right? The switching cost.
Precisely. It's like
Yeah.
building your entire digital life's work using their special bricks. If you stop paying the monthly fee, accessing years of your own archives becomes, well, difficult, if not impossible. Switching becomes incredibly painful.
Which I guess made them feel pretty secure. Maybe too secure. Because the prices started creeping up.
They definitely did. We're seeing, the photography plan jumping 50% for 2025, the main suite hitting nearly $60 a month for freelancers. That's steep.
But it wasn't just the price, it was getting out that caused real anger.
Right, the cancellation process. That's where they use what we call a dark pattern, basically a deliberately confusing or tricky design,
Hiding the fees.
hiding massive early termination fees, sometimes like half of your remaining contract value. People felt trapped, and that directly led to the FTC stepping in.
The Federal Trade Commission lawsuit, June 2024, alleging deceptive practices, trapping consumers. That's serious.
It's very serious. And you saw the hashtag boycott Adobe hashtag taking off everywhere.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, the AI issue blew up.
Yeah, the Firefly AI controversy in 2024, that was maybe the breaking point for many.
What happened there? The terms of service changed.
They updated the terms, granting Adobe really broad rights to, quote, view, use, and analyze user content. The justification was service improvements.
But users read that as
Adobe training its AI, Firefly, on their creative work they were paying Adobe tools to create. It felt like a profound betrayal. Using customer data to build a tool that might eventually replace the customer. Strategically, it was, disastrous for trust.
wow. Okay, so you have angry users, regulatory problems, perfect timing for competitors.
Exactly. The door was wide open. Look at Figma, browser-based, collaborative. It totally ate Adobe's lunch in the product design space. Remember Adobe's desperate $20 billion bid to buy them?
Which failed spectacularly, blocked by regulators, and they had to pay Figma $1 billion just for the deal falling through. Ouch.
Huge validation for the alternatives.
Yeah.
And it fueled this whole de-Adobe's movement. Suddenly, people are actively looking elsewhere.
Like Affinity.
Yeah, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, one-time purchase, around $70. Good enough replacements for Photoshop and Illustrator for many. And in video editing, DaVinci Resolve is just crushing Premiere Pro, especially in indie studios. It's powerful, and much of it is free or a reasonable one-time cost.
So when you pull all this together, what are the big takeaways?
I think there are two clear lessons here. One, don't bite the hand that feeds you. They alienated their core user base, the creators who built their success. That leads to backlash, boycotts,
And regulatory attention.
and regulatory attention. And two, trying to exert too much control, like with the file formats and subscriptions, can backfire. Locking down the ecosystem just made people more determined to escape when things went sour.
We've touched on the monopoly roots, the subscription trap, the AI disaster, the competition catching up.
It's quite the cascade.
It really is. So thinking about all this, the stock hit, the move towards open source collaborative tools, it leaves you wondering, right? Can Adobe actually pivot away from the very lock-in that made them so dominant? Or are they maybe heading down the path of, say, Xerox? Revolutionize an industry, then get overtaken by nimbler players. Something for you to think about.
A critical question for their future.
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
Thanks for having me.